Ooh, it's so cold. I don't even know if that's gonna stay. It is. It is. I guess it is. Mm-mm-mm. Ooh. Ooh, y'all gonna come talk to me? I think this would be a great dialogue. I have some things to say. Are you ready to hear? I think this is a really good exchange, a really good download, upload that you can get ready to receive. Where are you at in your life right now? What choice do you want to make? What do you want to see change? What is it? Well, let's have a conversation. That link that I just sent out on my Facebook and my Instagram link, y'all go ahead and click that. Like, everybody share that, click that. I just want to say thank you to everyone that has been riding with me on this journey. It's been amazing. It has been beautiful. It's been painful. It's been earth shattering, mind shattering, heart shattering, soul shattering, you know, core shattering. It's been a journey. It's been a legit journey. I know it might be a delay getting that link out. I think I might have even put the time for like 12:42, because y'all got to remember, all this technology shit is still like, hey, I'm still an 80s baby. Like, I'm hip to do enough what I gotta do, but nah, man, it's too much. It's too many options. It's too much stuff to do. It's just too much. Ugh. And so I only be indulging as much as I need to indulge. So I may not have sent these links out the most effective and efficient way. My apologies. I might be rushing y'all a little bit because I'm zoning. My apologies. I don't know, y'all. I move when I'm told, and I was just told that this was a good time to exchange, to talk. I don't really know if I want to do an exchange yet. Let's just receive right now, like, just receive, and then when it's time for the exchange, it's time, right? Okay, I'm gonna give this thing 6 more seconds. 5, 4, 3. Okay. Hi everybody. Hi, it's me, Nikki J. I am so honored to be here right now. Head of my life, I want to thank the head of my life, me, my soul team, my spiritual team. I just want to give me honor for making it this far, and also my soul team. We a team, y'all. Like, hey. Um, so first, before I even like go off, um, this is just gonna flow. Like, I'm just flowing, and that's cool. Whatever is for you, you'll get. Whatever isn't. But I do feel like I need to set a couple precursors, because if this is going out correctly, I want to have some people that are like not familiar with spirituality and like are just like in the dark, that's just like feeling a spark of my light and feeling like the need to have more. Like, I want to kind of speak with them first. I want to ease them in a little bit, because like it can be jarring. Like, there's an interest there. I can feel like all types of energy. Some of them, there's like a fear there. There's, you need something more. I feel the suffering and the confusion, but like the pull for like, what do I have to lose? Like, right? And I know all of the different oppressions that you're fighting against. I know the situations. Like, baby, I know. I have gone to hell and back for the opportunity to get here and be able to be a light and pull you out of this fuck shit, right? Right? Like, I have sacrificed. I have died multiple deaths. I have gone through hell to make sure that I could fucking free my people. So I want to make sure that as I'm speaking, my message resonates with every soul, that's like every soul as it's supposed to. She's been on my a part of my spirit. Like, I don't know if she's out of place. And I don't even know how I'm supposed to say her name. My bad. But yeah, like her soul, she's in a space. I see so much hurt and like, but like, she's a jewel and she's at a place. So I want to make sure that like my message is getting across to all the souls that I'm feeling on every level, because I know what you're battling with to take this step. Like, I know where you are at to take this step, and I don't want to stretch anybody. Like, I'm gonna be me, but like I want to be able to make sure everybody can flow. So I want to give you a couple of precursors. Spirituality and religion are not the same thing. They both could have the same message. They both at the heart, at the purity of it, could have the same goal, could have the same relation, but like at this point they're kind of like enemies, but they shouldn't be because they fit, but it's because of the way that they've been pitted against each other. So, you know, kind of like the Bible reference of Cain and Abel, the war. Like, they shouldn't have even been pitted against each other, but because there was something there that didn't belong, it, you know, and then look what happened. Um, so yeah, so the things that I'm about to say might sound crazy, um, but it is what it is. Just take it. Like, just take it for what it is. If I'm saying it, it is what it is. But everything happens in the spiritual before it comes down to the physical, right? Like, I actually live in multiple planes. Like, I get to see multiple things at once, and everything happens in the spiritual before it manifests onto the physical. And like, the time is just different. Like, it's just different, but it's a journey for how everything is attached. But like, the thing is, when you can see both the spiritual, like the things that's happening in the spiritual, and you can also see what's happening in the physical, and you can see, like, it just becomes like you just see everything. But because you know what it is, because you see, like, you know what it actually is, it doesn't bother you. And you love people for exactly who they are. Like, because you know that it has nothing to do with you. Like, and even the people that you love and they hurt you the most, and they hurt you the most, and you keep giving and you keep giving, and you're hurting, and you're like, why are you, like, I always kind of compare my mind state to being a child, like, to how children must feel when they come out. Like, they see the world exactly as it is. Like, whatever it is, it just is. The good and bad, there's no good or bad. It's just what it is. Like, this is what's happening. That's not it. And then everybody, like, you see it, and you just see what people are doing to each other. Like, you see what people can do. You see what they're doing it, but you are also seeing the good in them. Like, you see that, like, you see it has nothing to do with you. Like, you see that they are hurting because of this, or they're hurting because of that. So even though, like, you're getting hurt and you're pouring so much, like, I was just pouring so much into people that I love, because I know I'm light. Like, I know that I'm a healer. I know this, right? So I'm pouring my light and my healing into them, like, being in there, like, just because. And but I don't understand why, like, it's so hard for me to get what I need. Like, why is it so hard for people to love me? Like, I just don't understand it. But I do. Like, I know that it's really not me. Like, but it still hurts that the people that love you the most are the ones that are, like, hurting you. But they're saying that it's love, but you're like, no, it's not. And then you know that, like, it has nothing to do with you for real. It's just their shit. Like, so that's how I've been living my life. And, like, I just thought people were who they were. But then when my spiritual team started, like, sending me messages like, hey, this is what the fuck is going on around you. Like, these people around you are not safe. They are not okay. And like sometimes the way the messages were coming in were so intense, like that shit seemed like a movie. It seemed like I was watching a movie. Like sometimes I couldn't even receive the messages because they were so harsh and so out of my world. Like that can't be. It was like watching one of those drama shows on TV or something. Like that can't be real. Like you couldn't have wanted to actually harm me. Like you purposefully tried to hurt me. Why? Like I knew that you did stuff. I've seen you. I didn't care. Like I loved you anyway. But like you've been lying this whole time. Okay. Like that's so shit. Like I loved you and I thought you loved me. And I knew you had your issues. I knew you were envious. I knew you were jealous. Like, but that wasn't my shit. I knew it didn't have anything to do about whether or not you cared about me. It was just your shit. Like I seen society. So I understood that it didn't have anything to do with me. But when they started showing me like, no, family tried to take you out. Like they've been lying to you forever. You were never supposed to live this life. Like you've been going around thinking that you weren't wanted, that nobody wanted you, going through this system, and like you were not supposed to live like that. Like you were wanted, you were planned for, you were a gift. And then somebody got jealous because you were the chosen one. And because of that, they tried to take you out. You went in the system because you were supposed to die, my nigga. And then when you start looking at the system, and I started thinking, like, putting puzzle pieces together from ages ago, before I even wrote my book, like when I first requested my my adopted records, my files, like when I got them shits back, everything was white, blacked out. That shit made me mad. Like I got some of the information, and some information I just knew because I remembered from like my life. Like a lot of my memories were kind of very dull. I had been through a lot of trauma, so I just figured like I had memory loss from that. But like, so a lot of my memories were dull, but like there was certain information that I just know. So like when I got my files and I'm looking and I'm like, okay, it's a blur, but I know I was in like 14 different places, and I know this incident happened, and I know this incident happened, but I'm looking at these records and none of this stuff is in there, and I know it was major. Like I know it was supposed to be documented, or this meeting isn't documented, or I made this report like I told y'all when I was in that foster home about that man that made me feel uncomfortable. Like I told y'all, I felt like he was going to rape me, and I told y'all how he kept brushing up against me, and I told y'all this, but that's not, it's not even listed that I was lived in that foster home. Like I told y'all that this man was like trying to rape me, like he was planning to rape me, and the only reason that I got safe was because I ran away. Like I became a runaway with a couple other girls. Like, and that's not in here. Like that was never documented, so like they didn't make him, like he could still take kids in. Like I started thinking back on shit, and I'm like, hey man, you hear all these stories about human trafficking, like, oh, it could be your classmate, oh, it's the pastor, oh, it's the, yes the fuck it is. Why? Because we done been taught to believe that the motherfucker is a organization. They here to help. They taking your fucking kids out of your home and they selling them to you. They selling them to the fucking system. Foster kids are every category. They're the highest homeless group. They're the highest uneducated. They're the highest with generational curses, like having teenage babies and shit. Foster kids hold up the highest incarceration rates, and they hold up the highest, what was the other one? Homeless, drugs. You have innocent fucking kids that like nobody is looking out for. They up for grabs. The government fucking experimenting on their ass with shots and shit, because who gonna say something? Who gonna do something? Who gonna do? Nobody listening. Why? Because who listening to them kids? Who listening to them kids? So like all this is coming to my memory. My team is just showing me all this, and I'm like, damn, they selling across borders. Why? Because they own the borders. Them niggas fucking, how the fuck we let a small group of people tell us where the fuck we can go? How do we allow them to sell us a dream about where the fuck is safe for us to go on this earth? Like, I need to buy paperwork. I need to get permission. I need to do this for you to tell me whether or not I can go see my fucking cousin or go touch this piece of the earth because she calling me to her. Man, what? We let these niggas get away with that? Like, I just be thinking about that shit. Like, hey, we giving away our freedom, and then they give us these fucking gaslighting, these fucking stories of slavery. And not to say they didn't happen, but the symbology, like the way that they putting it, the way they teaching it. Like, no, nigga, we in slavery. It wasn't just them beating us, but they are. Look around you. They shooting niggas in the street every fucking day and getting away with it. Like, so they are. They hanging people. They still hanging people. It was a couple fucking years in my city, in my town, where a black man got hung in Beechwood, Ohio, in the woods, and they tried to make that shit like he went in the woods to hang himself. What? Like, nigga, so the stories that we fighting against, and the stories that we saying like we would do this, like, we in the fucking story, and we ain't doing shit. We ain't doing shit. We reading the stories about the ones that rebel and the ones that squashed them down. Like, we seen the ones where we're trying to remind us and get them to freedom. Like, it's not just that story. It's the whole story. You got people trying to tell you about everything and you not listening. You just like, hey, man, these niggas been taking niggas out. Like, how many holistic doctors came up, just smoked? How many? It was a whole thing about that. Like, how many, what else was it? We got the holistic doctor. Of course, you got the Bitcoin and like the currency. Why? Because fucking currency, if you look around you right now, they're showing you, like, if you're taking it in, currency is just the fucking exchange that is agreed upon. We stuck on these punk ass fucking pieces of paper and shit they done tied to our beliefs to, like our whole soul to, and we like, oh, I gotta work to get this so that I can get. No, motherfucker, you are the currency. Raise your fucking frequency. You are the currency. You decide, I'm not fucking doing this no more. Like, what they gonna do? They put all these trinkets in front of us and we just like, oh, I can't do it because this. Oh, I can't do that. Then you are a slave. Slavery is a fucking choice. Thank you, Kanye. It's a choice, because you choosing not to do something because whatever your reason is. I'm scared. I can't see it. I don't want to see it. It hurts. Whatever your reason is. Whatever your reason is, you choosing to stay stuck. And I understand, because the systems around us are so oppressive. They're so indoctrinated. It's tradition. It's tradition with bigger traditions inside. It's a fucking curse. It's a spell. It's continuous. It's not, it hasn't stopped because we won't stop. We won't, because we're scared of everything. Like, we won't get outside of this cycle. I just be thinking, like, so how fucking much are y'all gonna give before y'all break? Like, how much y'all gonna let them take before y'all break? Like, and how much are they going to take before y'all break? Like, do they not understand? So I was a foster kid. I was in my own place at 18. I was still a high school senior. My apartment, I had a 2-bedroom apartment. It was like $350 a month. And I had a job. I was in school, but I also had a job at like the science center where I was making, like, I think it was, the minimum wage was like $7 something. And I could afford I lived comfortably. Like, I mean, I was struggling because I didn't know about finance or anything, but I was fine. And then I was thinking, like, nigga, the minimum wage is the fucking same, and like rent and cost of living has fucking quadrupled. And like, when y'all gonna say enough is enough? Like, when y'all, like, nigga, you hold the key. If everybody just say no, then what they gonna do? Like, they made us think that we need them. They need us, but they need us to not know that. Like, nigga, I pay my gas bill. Like, I pay my gas bill to you, which is what keeps you operating. But you gonna keep trying to suck me dry? Fuck that. Like, nigga, we own this bitch. The moment that we collectively understand that this is our fucking land anyway, this is our shit. We the natives. All these smoke and mirrors and shit. Like, nigga, this our fucking land. The more I traveled, I was like, okay, I'm not going to negate that. We had some enslaved Africans brought over here. we got enough historians. I ain't about to go into all that. If it's people that want to comment y'all profession and y'all want to interested in following like other shit that what I'm saying, y'all do that. But that ain't my thing. But so what was I saying? Now that threw me off. Hold on, gotta get it back. Okay, so we just decide, like, I'm not doing that shit. What they going to do? Like, we are the natives of this land. The more that I traveled, the more I realized, like, that shit wasn't adding up. So I remember years ago coming across something about, like, the natives of the land, like, the oldest bones that they found belonged to a black woman. And it was, like, dating back to whatever it was, and I think like I forgot what they had named her, Eve. I don't know if that was Eve, but like that was her fossil. It was the oldest, right? I'm like, okay. So then I'm like looking around me and I'm like noticing. I'm like, the fucking deeper they dig, it's us. Like, nigga, they not nowhere to be found. When have you heard about them digging up white people? Like, and I just be like, hey man, why we letting them try to tell us something? Like, this is my shit. Give me my shit. So I'm like, okay, all right, there's that. So I'm like, they sold us a story because I went to this place and you telling me like this was the biggest slave trade coming out the West Africa. Oh, okay. But I'm looking around the island on my tour and I'm like, okay, so this was supposed to be the biggest place. And you walking me through this thing, and I feel the energy. Something happened here. But I'm looking at the setup, and I'm like, but this was the island that it happened. So where's all the shit? Like, if this supposed to be a museum, where are the ships at? Like, and it was just like y'all showing me the same shit y'all showed me at school. Like, it's just drawings. Like, it ain't no evidence. So the shit didn't like y'all can give me evidence for everything else. But this shit that was supposed to happen, this truth, nigga, y'all don't got no physical evidence. Where are the ships? Like, y'all just got drawings. It's drawings. It's fucking pictures. And then you got the steel damn, like, that you always see. You just got the steel chains. But, like, you always see the same. It was like the same shit. I was like, there's no evidence. Where's the fucking proof? And then when I started digging, and it's like, oh, so it didn't even become a thing into West Africa that Americans thought that they could be from Africa. I think I didn't watch a lot of those slave movies, so it was said Amistad or something was the one, like after it was put out or something, or maybe it was Roots. I don't know, but after it was put out, if you watch it, you will know it was that like. Black Americans started thinking that they were Africa. So that's when the story started circulating. Like, that's when it became a thing. That's when they first started saying like, oh, it became like a tourist thing. Like, we can sell this and make money off of the Black Americans because of our dollar. Like, it became a trade. So I remember coming across that somewhere, like, as I was over there and I'm taking this tour, and I'm just like, and the other thing is, you said this was supposed to be like the museum, so like all the houses and all the stuff, but like this ain't no original. Like, where they all at? Ain't none of them here. So if this is where it happened, why wouldn't none of the original stuff be here? Like, you even taking me on this tour and you don't have like y'all telling me this was a replica of what they did, and it first was built in 17. It was after the 17th or whatever. Like, it was built after the slavery, supposedly. It's like 17. I can't remember, but whatever. Y'all can figure it out yourself. But then so that came to me like, so this ain't even the original shit. So like, if this is what it was, then why couldn't y'all just keep it here? Like, why don't y'all have no evidence? So that's what's going through my head. Like, y'all don't have no evidence. Y'all just talking shit. Y'all just made this up. Like, it was just like, y'all just made this up and we buying it. Like, and then I went back to thinking, like, I have been thinking, like, because I went to like a school and it was like a lot of interracial people coming, like, from around where I was meeting a lot of different cultures and hearing different things. But then like something was happening and I was started remembering, like, hey, I remember not too long ago, like, I remember being a kid and we would be saying like tribes that we were from, and we would be proud about it. Like, I got Native in my, I got Cherokee in my blood. My grandma in Cherokee, like we were proud about that. And I was like in elementary school, like I remember that being a thing, like being proud of like having like, but it was like a confusion because I remember also like the twist, like when it started being like we started being ashamed, but I didn't remember why as a kid. It just seemed like it was like you couldn't say it, like you didn't want to be associated with being like Native, with being a Cherokee. Like it became just as bad as like the era of like being African. Like it was that same distaste. Like, but I was remembering that like I remember not too long ago we knew that we belonged to this land. So like how did we get here and we don't remember? Like we think we came from Africa. Like, but for me, like I'm like, how can you erase somebody's like you? It don't take long to fuck up somebody's like identity, like their truth, like because when I was in elementary school, I knew that like my grandma was a Cherokee Indian, like I knew it. And then I remember also like it became taboo, like we didn't want to be, it became like something to be mocked, like oh you got Indian in your blood, oh like I remember it being like a shameful, became like a shameful thing. But I'm like, why don't nobody else remember that? Like why don't we ever talk about that? Like why is like it never talked about that we had like we that was a part of our hair. So like everybody going to do these DNA tests and it's taking them over to Africa. But I'm like, but like no, we were here too, because and we knew that. So what happened? And then I'm coming across stuff that goes back to like how when they passed one of them damn laws or whatever, when they were making it like where the natives had to get their land back or whatever, it was supposed to be like a reparations thing, kind of, sort of. But what was happening was that yeah, because all the laws, all the oppression and stuff, like us against black people, what they did with the natives of the land, and they made us think that it wasn't us. Like they fucking went and changed the documentations. They went and changed the identities. Like them fucking white people went and burnt our records and shit and said, and then they actually wrote in that they were Native. Like they actually changed the actual identity of the natives of this land, what we call the Native Americans, like through fucking propaganda. Like because they fucking destroyed our history. They say that the winner of the war gets to write the history. Well, them niggas ain't stopped writing because we gave it to, like, we giving it to them. We just allowing them to tell us what the fuck they did. Like, and we just like, okay, because we choosing to play into their system. But I'm just thinking, and I'm just having all these memories, like, so now I see like all these light skin, and not to be disrespectful, but I'm seeing like all the different natives that they're showing us, and I'm like, no, that's not even it's not even what we look like. That's not, it's us, nigga. They was dark. They was like, this is our land. So all these years, I'm just like, hey, this our land. And I love traveling across Africa. Like, that's my sister, and that's our sister. Like, I came across something once upon a time about how evidence showed that, like, we were in natural trade agreements with our brother and sister across Africa. Like we made we made those travels multiple times a year. I don't know how, because that's not, geography and all that, and we know the maps and shit been fucked up and the world ain't how they say. We know all that illusion, but we were making that journey. Like there wasn't a separation. We lived here. We were making. I came across something like years ago, and I was like, okay, so when the evidence shows that we already done that, like, why do we think that we wouldn't have some of them over here? Like, they was here too. Like, we family, nigga. It wasn't no borders. We didn't need permission to go see our cousin. Like, nigga, this was our realm. And then we allowed somebody to come in and like tell us it wasn't. And I used to be like, hey man, white people aliens. People used to be laughing at me. I used to be like, they don't even naturally, like, they don't even naturally be on this world. Like, they can't even naturally just exist on this realm. And I remember coming across something, and the young man, I think it was David Banner, he said something like, in an interview or something, like, everywhere, he said he had read something that everywhere white people went, they destroyed. Like, the native being and creature of that land had never been there. Like, it didn't exist anymore. And I'm like listening to this, and I'm like, our realm actually like tries to spit them out all the time. And y'all telling me they supposed, like, y'all don't see that they aliens. Like, they can't naturally handle our sun. It kills them. Like, they can't naturally, like, handle our spices. Like, they can't. It's just like they have to do things to adapt to our environment the whole step of the way. And we killing ourselves because, like, and they understand that this is our world, but we, like, trying to do what the fuck they do. We killing ourselves because we think that we supposed to do what they do. But I don't know what it was. One day when I was younger, I just had this thought, like, whatever they do, I'm supposed to do the opposite. Like, whatever they tell me I'm supposed to do, I'm supposed to do the opposite. I remember just having that thought. Like, I was looking around and it was just like, it didn't seem right. I'm like, so if that worked for them, but we not the same. So if that worked for them, that's not gonna work for me. Like, that's probably gonna be poison in my body. That's probably why we getting so sick, because we just, why you putting that shit in your hair? And that's fine. But like, they made it. Somebody, one of them made that, and it's supposed to be for our hair. Yeah, I don't even trust them. They trying to kill us all the time. Why I'm letting, nah. So it just started being like little shit to me, like tanning salons. Why the fuck would I do that? Oh, the sun not good for them? Oh, let me get as much of this shit that I can. Like, for me, it just was the opposite. Like, they pushing dairy and bread and all this processed shit. Like, from growing up in the food deserts, what was available, to like start going, when I started traveling and seeing like what was available to them, it was like, oh, y'all giving us trash, but we can't even do nothing about it. Like, most of us are so into the system. We allowing you to feed us. Like, when they say you give your child to your enemy to raise you, like, we are allowing these motherfuckers to feed us, to clothe us, to fucking provide for us, like, to educate us, our babies. Like, why the fuck you think they gonna give you anything to live? So I just started looking at the different systems, and I was like, this is so, like, we don't even know. When I stopped eating meat, I just was like doing a fast. Like, I went to a church and they were doing the Daniel fast for 30 days, which is essentially like a vegan fast, but maybe a little intense. So mostly raw. Like, you can do some cooked stuff, but it's like raw for the most part. So it was cool at first. It was a little like, oh, and then like after the 30 days, I just was like, I'm not going back to eating meat. But then it was funny because I remember that I had never been a big meat eater. Like, I got forced to eat meat as a kid because of the environment. Like, you didn't get to choose what you got to eat. You had to eat it, whatever was in front of you, because it was scarcity. Like, you ain't have options. And we didn't have, like, fruits and vegetables. Like, I lived in a foster home, a white neighborhood, and, like, they had fresh fruits and vegetables and produce and stuff. Like, we had fresh stuff all the time. So when I got put into a black community home, like, all the vegetables was like canned. They weren't vibrant. It was just so dark. Like, they had no life. It was just like canned goods and like frozen goods. Like, but that was available in the markets. And then you had apples. Like, we had like the basic fruits. But when I started, like, but I was able to know, like, I didn't, and then they had like potted meat. Like, we was eating like potted meat and shit like that. They didn't eat like that over here. And it just didn't seem fair to me that we didn't even have that option. So after I did the Daniel fast and I stopped eating meat, and I decided like I wasn't doing it, I was having like those memories. Like, I didn't even like it in the beginning. My body already knew. Like, it used to make me sick. I've always been very funny about texture, and I always been very particular about meat. Like, some meats used to make me throw up. Milk, I couldn't drink it from ever. Like, it made me throw up all the time. So I just was like, I'm not gonna eat. Like, my body don't even want me to have it. I don't have to have it. So that's what it was. So like, the Daniel fast for me helped, and I was doing it because I was in church at the time. And then I just decided not to go back. It was a journey because, like, at that time, nothing in my environment, like, I didn't know what to do. I knew I didn't want to do this, but I didn't know what else to do. So I tried to do the opposite. Like, I would just cook greens the way I knew how, but didn't put meat in them and try to season them and just like stuff like that. But even that wasn't satisfying. Like, it wasn't until I don't know if one of my places I lived, I started, or maybe somebody I came across in school, I got introduced to like maybe Mediterranean food and like stuff like that. So I started like Japanese food, not the hibachi. I ate Japanese before the hibachi became, like, all the shrimp and sushi now, like, that wasn't how I was introduced to Japanese food. And like, the flavors and the vibrancy and the color of the food was like more to my palate. I was like, oh my gosh, I found home. Like, this is how it is. And then, like, having more fruits and stuff available. But it wasn't like that when I first started. That was a journey. Like, it took me getting in different environments and getting exposed to certain stuff. But then you realize, like, it's a lot of people that don't have that option. Like, I had a privilege and a freedom, but most people don't know. So they're going to stay sick because they can't really detox their body. They can't necessarily do a vegan fast because they can't afford to not. Like, I can go to the store with this bit of money that the government gave me, or I can go to the store with this bit of money that I have, and with it, in order to survive, I can eat this, this, and this. Like, that they're limited to what options they limited to. So when you see all that and you just going through this system in this life and you just seeing it all, like, you kind of have a compassion for people, like, and it's just, that's what unconditional love is, like. But then, because I didn't understand, because I was so naive and trusting of, like, people and whatever, when I started finding out the things that people were doing, it was like, oh shit, oh, that was your intention, oh, that was your intention. And it started bringing up the trauma differently for me. Like, that was some really hard stuff to process. I felt, man, I broke, and I broke, and I broke again. And probably a couple more times, because it was just wow. It was a movie, but it was me. Like, I'm sitting here, I done seen these movies, and I was the person that y'all was doing it to. Oh, and you knew it. You did it on purpose. Like, you hurt me on purpose. I know you hurt me. I know you did stuff, but, like, I didn't think it was on purpose. I didn't think you meant to hurt me. I just thought it was your shit. Like, I didn't take it personal. But then I find out, like, oh no, you meant to do it. Like, oh, how do you, like? And that's how kids lose their innocence. It's just like, that's when you start seeing the world different. Like, when you go to thinking that the people around you. But then when I started getting like, cause I am me, and they would tell me, my spiritual team would be like, and we know that the golden child would forgive you. Like, we know that she's gonna forgive you, because that's who she is, and that's why she protected. But nigga, we ain't. You about to get this, like. And they was telling me, like, we know how you are, but now it ain't getting off. And the more I really started, like, getting into my shit, getting into my balance, getting into, like, my heart, I was like, oh, okay, oh well, they did it. Like, I ain't even mad. Wait, let me see, am I? Yes, I am mad. I am still a little mad. So let me not say that. I'm not out for revenge. I don't have to do nothing. But I am very much okay with you get what the fuck you get. Because why? And also, it's like, oh, but you were this to me. Like, you were really this to me. Like, I saw this in you. And I don't know if you was that person or you could have been that person. I guess on each timeline, it was just that. Like, on each timeline, you could have been that person on one timeline. And one timeline, for me, you were that person. And then to find out, like, you was this person. And they all was true, though. They all was true. And I feel for you, but whatever you got coming, and you'll probably get in grace and mercy because of the love that I have for you. You probably get in grace because of the love. Like, they probably sparing you because you still are, like, you were something. But I ain't no bitch. Like, I know niggas was seeing love and light and shit. I get it, because I am that. And I kept saying it. It was just something I kept saying, like, hey, man, I'm love and light and all rainbows and shit. But nigga, I'm source. Like, I'm God, love and light. God of the Old Testament was still supposed to be Jesus, and God of the New Testament, fucking wrath and light, love and light, peace and light. Like, I ain't do nothing to you, and you did that to me. So, I do love you, and I did cry when I realized that's what you did. I did cry. That shit was really hurtful because, and then all this shit started making sense. Like, oh, that's why you asked me that. Oh, that's why this was. Oh, that's why I was saying that. Oh, that's why. You was still trying, and you couldn't figure. And I just thought, and I, in my innocent ass self, or maybe in my innocent all knowing self, I knew that the energy was, I knew something was there, but I translated it. It's the timelines, like which one you gonna choose, what you gonna see. I chose to see it this way, but I felt that energy, and then when I was seeing that it was actually this way, like, oh, I thought that you was like concerned or something. No, thank you, babe. But I'm like, oh, you was trying to figure out what you could use it. You was trying to figure out how the fuck to use some shit against me. You didn't care, like, you didn't care about what was going on with me, or maybe you did. Like, maybe it was because we are multi-dimensional. Something I said fucked with you on multiple ways. Like, it fucked with you and made you feel this way in this part, and all of it is true. And it fucked with you and was like, damn, like, something hit your heart. And I don't even remember what I said. I was channeling. That was a channel from whoever to y'all. And then I got a message that said their family member said to stop. Like, somebody tried to set you up with a body. I'm like, a body? And then, like, at first I'm like, look, Chrissy? How something, like, she committed suicide? How somebody tried to set me up with, like, a body? Like, and it was like, oh, the morgue was in on it, and the something else, like some dirty cops or something, like. But somebody tried to somebody tried to say that you committed murder. But I'm thinking, like, I never heard any. And then I got asked, like, did anybody? No, somebody. No, I didn't get asked. What kind of? And it was like, kind of like, what happened? Like, did you have to fill out a report? Did you have to go through an investigation? And I'm like, no, it was suicide. Like, I was on hold, but they came in, they went in, and they said that it was suicide, and that was it. And it was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, was it supposed to be something else? And then they was like, was it blood? And I was like, I don't have a lot of memories of that day. Like, I'm like, I think my brain just shut down, like, the trauma. I was like, so I don't really have any memory, much of memory. I was like, I remember I was supposed to go, we were supposed to take the kids to the amusement park. Like, I was going to take my niece, and she was going to take her kids. And she had annoyed me the day before because she was like, she had took the car, she was going all day, she didn't even ask. I was just annoyed at that roommate shit. She drank my wine. I kept telling her to stop drinking my fucking wine. She was drinking all my wine. Like, it was just that. And so I was, like, annoyed with her a little bit when she came in. And she was, I think we just had, like, a passing conversation. It was nothing. I had to go to work early the next day. And then it felt like, as I got ready to go to bed, because I had to be at work at, like, 4 something in the morning, I heard, like, a noise. Like, I don't know if it was like a hit against the wall. I don't know, but I heard like a noise. I might have had my headphones on or something. And I heard a noise, and I remember, like, I had the TV on. I don't know. Something was on. I wasn't paying attention. And I was like, and I remember, like, coming out, like, did I just hear something? And I started to go in there and check on her, but I was like, nope, because I was annoyed. And so then I got up in the morning and I left for work. You know, I was probably left at the house at like 3 something. I don't know, because I had to be at the Racino on my bartender shift. So when I came home that evening, I was like annoyed, and I was like, she probably in his house just talking or smoking, or she better say no, whatever. So she ain't come out. I got in the shower, She hadn't said nothing, and I was just like, I'm gonna leave her. Like, I was just, I'm gonna leave her. I ain't about to do all that. She know we supposed to go. Like, I ain't about to go remind her. And so something in me was like, don't do that, because y'all supposed to take the kids. Like, she said she wanted to go. At least give her the opportunity to come. So I was like, all right. And I just went in, knocked at the door in the room, and she didn't answer. So first, when I opened the door, I seen her against the wall, and I was just like, she must be. I was like, she must be. I was like, oh, she must be doing one of her meditate. Like, she might have been meditating and fell asleep. So I called her name a couple of times. She didn't answer. And then I just remember like going, touching her, and then blanking out, just saying like whatever it was, just was like, oh, I think she felt cold, and I was like, oh my god, I was like, she dead, oh my god, like I was so traumatized, and I was like, and I bolted out the room into the hall and like screaming. I think I might have called like Glory and Racine. And later I'm like, I don't remember, they told me it was a gun. I don't remember seeing a gun, so I don't even know. Like, I just remember saying she killed herself. And then I remember they said that she shot herself in the head, but like I didn't. And I was like, I remember saying like I didn't see any blood though. I don't know if they cleaned it up, but like I didn't see any blood. There was a little blood on the carpet and on the mattress, but like I didn't see anything. I was like, and I don't remember seeing the gun. Like I was surprised when they told me that it was a gun. She killed herself. I was like, I didn't even know she had a gun. I think they said like, then somehow the story was like the night before when she went out or whatever, she had got a gun, and I was like, okay, like, okay, because I did think that she wasn't feeling safe or something. I think she wasn't feeling safe. She was saying that she wasn't feeling safe, and we lived together, so I was watching like certain stuff happen, and she would be saying certain stuff to me, and I'll never forget. She said to me like, I'll never hurt you. I'll never allow myself to hurt you. Cause I remember being like, girl, what? Why would you say like, I didn't think that you would hurt me ever? You know, so that had came to mind one night. But then I got a message that said like, they tried to put a body on you. So I was like, the only thing that I could think of, and then also the whole Chrissy thing came to mind. So I was like, okay, because I've been getting a couple other messages. So I'm like, oh, okay, Chrissy, but like how when she committed suicide? And then I'm thinking like all the information that's been coming at me, and I'm like, oh, okay, so something happened there, but that didn't go as planned or something, or the mom, like someone hurt their mom. Because the thing is that like somebody mad at me because they think I did something or something. So those were the only two. Had to be like one or two to me. That was how I translated the message. But I was like, okay, so y'all already been telling me for years now that I got people around me that are snakes, and now y'all putting all these different moments and different situations, like y'all giving me like these different perspectives and seeing it. It's like a whole puzzle piece coming together, and I'm like, okay, well, so like, what I'm supposed to do with it? Why y'all telling me? I kind of felt like that. Like, I don't even know why y'all telling me. I know y'all gonna take care of it. Like, now we know. But also, I already kind of been moving away from them. Like, I haven't talked to this one in years. I haven't like, y'all. I already been subconsciously like moving away, and then y'all was giving me this information before it even like been giving it to me in pieces. Like y'all been like, so I mean, it is what it is. Why y'all telling me? And it was just like, you gotta know the story. Like, you gotta know. And then like more, like, oh my goodness, so got family. I'm like, this, and it was so hard to like hear the messages, because I'm like, this gotta be a fucking soap opera. Like, sometimes it was so overwhelming. Like, I'm like, I'm fucking crazy. Like, this, please don't lock me up. Like, I'm going crazy. Because this cannot be like this cannot, like, first, all this cannot be happening. And they like, yes it is. Yes it is. I'm like, okay. So now I have family that that stolen inheritance. Probably my mom. And then like the shit that she did, like, woo. But it's like I always knew that you were who you were. I didn't know you did that, but like that's why I ain't fuck with you. I knew you were grimy. I knew you was street. Like I knew you. I knew exactly who you were all of these years. I knew who. That's why I didn't fuck with you. Like I clocked this shit from when I came back around, and it just was what it was. And that's the thing about being an angel. That's the thing about love. You just gonna see people for who they are, and it is what it is. Like I'm dealing with you accordingly because you are fuck. Like I know that you will fucking slit my throat if you like. And I see that you getting older, and I even see that you maturing. But nigga, I clocked that shit back then. That ain't changed. Like I might be seeing you in a whole other plate in another way because I see your pain. Like I understand your pain as a woman, and like I understand from the journey why you are who you are. Like, and I just accept that too. So like I see the fullness of you, but like nigga, I know I clocked it back then. I said it. I was like, you was out there in them streets too long. You done got a little too like you don't really, yeah, you don't fuck with us for real. Like we your kids, but you not like that. Like nigga, you would cut me real quick, and I know that. Like I was like, you jaded. Like I don't even think that you know how. I don't you, but I knew it and I dealt accordingly. I guess I just didn't know all the detail. Like I didn't know how real that shit could get. I was like, oh, but I said it. But I said it. I said it. I knew it. And I called it out. I ain't backed down from it ever. Yeah. All right. I know you would do. I would never trust you. And I deal with you and I have empathy with you. And, you know, like, I have so much empathy because, like, I see me and you. I was only one decision away from being you. Like, I was only one moment. So, how can I not have empathy? Like, we both were molested. We both came from parents that like I'm walked your shoes too, but I'm just one decision. Like I got molested and I dealt with it this way and it affected you this way, or like I started having sex early and I didn't get pregnant and you did. Like and the way you were introduced is this. Like you as a woman and as a black woman and as a woman that lived parallel lives, like I cannot not understand why you did it. Like I get why you are who you are, and I have empathy and compassion for that. And also like, oh fucking well, you're gonna have to eat them bullets back too. Like it is what it is, because you ain't have to be like that, or maybe you did. I don't know, but it ain't none of my business no more. Yeah. So just understanding, like I was brought here on a mission. So I also, and I'm a healer. Like I don't just heal everybody else. I heal myself. I heal myself too, the best way that I know how. Because the one thing about being in an environment, like knowing that you are in a war zone, because you see how everything, you see it all around you. So like being able to give but not being able to receive, like having that part but still receiving, like you know, because I used to always say like I feel the love around me, like I know people loving me the best that they know how, like, but I don't feel love. Like I know they love me but I don't feel it. I used to say that all the time. I was like, and I can't receive love. I couldn't receive the love in that environment. It just, but I saw it, I recognized it, I appreciated it, you know, and I allowed it to fuel me as it needed to. But that does something to you. Like you, at some point I stopped operating in like my emotion and my creativity, my feminine energy. I just kind of like had to become more masculine to protect me. Like I needed a shield. I could not allow the toxins of that environment like come into me. I knew it would kill. Like I remember being, I don't know how old I was, maybe 20 something, and I was just like, I was so afraid. I was like, I am going to die. I don't want to die. And it wasn't the physical death. it was like the death of my life. I was so scared of like allowing the environment to snuff out my light. Like that was legit fear of mine. Hold on. All right, y'all. All right. All right. All right. Y'all can't go in. Hold on. I'm coming out. Get off me, please. All right, Taboo. You gonna be in my way? I can't get up now? Hold up. Get her, cutie. Get her. Get her, Jill. Okay, my bad. I don't even remember what I was saying. But yeah. Oh! I gotta get my setup again. I think I was talking about, yeah, like, when you know that people are who they are, I don't know how you really, but then being closed off for so long, that does something to you too. Like, you just see shit is what it is. So I got the message that, oh, I knew that I was brought here on assignment. See that too, like, oh, okay. Everything was a mission. Got it. Like, this was your test. I was a test for you. It was, you were supposed to do some stuff for your bloodlines. Some generational curses was supposed to be broken. And however you responded to that, so I got to be careful with how y'all do people out here. You never know who you are entertaining. And it's like sad because people make choices, but I understand why they made the choices they made, to in a sense. And it just makes me so mad at the system more. Like, I don't know. So I've been discovering more about me, and I'm excited to take this journey. Like I said, Children and Family Services is the big ass human trafficking ring. Ditch them. This fucking food that they got us eating. Hey, learn to do something different. I think I was reading something about Bill Gates owning like however many thousands of acres of land. Like he like kind of in control of like so much of land in America. I was like, hey, this nigga and his wife, his ex bitch, they been fucking over black people and Africans for a long time, and ain't nobody saying nothing on why we still letting his ass over there. Like, all right, so y'all like can't either see this or like y'all people don't get, like y'all setting y'all people up and y'all need to be like, it's just like, why are they still a thing? Like Belinda and Bill Gates, like we letting them do stuff. Why is y'all taking advice from them? Oh no, I ain't. Like, a vaccine, nigga, please. What? I saw them articles about them fucking villages over in Africa that under the guise of Melinda and Bill Gates. And I know on the certain boards that people was like Hillary Clinton. That's why when she was running, everybody like, oh, Hillary and Bill. Nah, fuck them too, because them was on some shit that I done seen pop up on being on some of them lists of some of the deepest, darkest conspiracies. So like, no, you ain't have my fucking vote either. Anyway, but it's like, so y'all just letting y'all just still letting them over there. Why? Either y'all don't know, but y'all ain't figured it out. I remember seeing something about a couple villages. They went and gave like some type of vaccine, and then within a week or two, like all the fucking kids in the village that had got the vaccine were dead. They wiped out a whole village. the Depo Provera shot. Like, I remember they put me on the Depo when I was like maybe 15 and a half. I stayed on it for a year because I wasn't getting no periods. And I went to the doctor and she like talking to me and she like explaining like it's okay to not have a period. And she trying to, and I'm like, no, it's not. Like, I was 16, but it just was like, you can't sit up here and tell me that something that's supposed to naturally happen with my body that is happening is okay if I don't have one. Like, if that's what it was doing naturally before I got on this thing, this shot that you gave me, you stopping something from like, you stopping something. For me, that just made sense at 16. Like, something is gonna happen. Like, you stopping something from doing what it's doing, and you telling me as the doctor that like it's okay. I was like, nah, I don't want it, and that was it. Birth control pills always made me sick. Like, they made me sick. I don't. Who want to be sick? I was never really a pill taker. Like, even as a kid, I really couldn't take pills. So I just thought, like, why am I taking them? So I don't take medications. Like, I got hip to herbology, so I would go to the doctor and I would get like all my testing and stuff, and then I would be like, what's going on with me? And give my paperwork and send it to my holistic guy for like my herbs and shit, cause my teas, my elixirs. And then I would go back. When I would go back for my updates, they would be like, oh my gosh, like my test results and shit would be up higher. And I'm just sitting up here like, yeah, not by taking that shit. I used to be looking at those ingredients like, why are we taking this? Like, and the side effects, it always boggled my mind that we literally have commercials and shit telling people that the side effect, and I'm just like, that's worth it to you? Like, you don't risk this because you ain't seen, you don't think you seen nobody get you won't, you just gonna take the gamble because it worked this time. But like, I'm not even a science person, so I might not be using the correct terminology, but like, chemistry, baby, everything like comes down to like chemistry. So everything is going to be reactive to something. So whatever that foreign thing is doing to your body, like, they're telling you that it could probably cause this, but on a chemical level, like, they don't know your makeup like that, like, they don't know us like that, and everybody different. So I remember reading a book like years ago, and it was like this, they thought this murder happened or whatever, something happened, but then it was like ended up being a suicide, and it goes through this whole thing. But then come to find out that like, because they were wondering like how the kid committed suicide, because they were like a bubbly kid, blah 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 blah. So they go back, and it ends up coming up like the only thing that had changed was like his inhaler. Like, I think they changed, like the doctor ended up changing like the type of medication that he took for his asthma or something, or whatever it was. And I think that she said like she was feeling bad because he had maybe complained about it, and it was like, oh, try a little bit. And then they noticed, like, they were able to track down to like him using the inhaler to, it ended up causing depression in him, and that's what made him end up committing suicide. So I remember reading that, and I remember looking, and then like being in school, hearing about like just paying attention, like doing reports on like the pharmaceutical company, the Ritalin and shit, like even the composition of Ritalin being like freaking whatever away from like coke, like all this information that I'm obtaining, and I'm just like, hey, why are we willingly giving our kids, like, they're telling us what's wrong with them, like they're getting addicted as a teenager, and then like now you wondering why you got all these drugged out kids because they giving them fucking medications. Like, we giving them medications, and now they having addictions. Now they have ADHD, they having babe. Like, we creating the problem, but they're telling us, if you like, I just did a paper, and if the information is right there, why ain't nobody? For me, it just made sense. Like, I'm not taking that shit. Like, I don't know. My philosophy had become, the first thing I get up to, the first thing I take in gotta be life giving, and the last thing I take in gotta be life giving. Like, I gotta put something like life in my body before anything else. And I'm like, cause everything in this, like, they poison us in this bitch, and we just like, we buying it, we buying that shit. I'm like, everywhere I go in the hood, like, it'd be crazy when you travel and you see how different shit is. You get to compare, like, nigga, they don't have these Like, when I look at the community that I live in, if I go 2 miles one way, just about, it's a food desert. You got like maybe 2 grocery stores, maybe a mile away from each other. When you go in, I'm looking like what they offer, like, and then you got a bunch of corner stores and convenience stores, and when you look at the shit that they offering, like, and then I go into these neighborhoods, and it's like, in a 2 mile radius, it is like 10 different grocery stores, farm shops, like the different variety of fresh everything. It's just like, how can you not see how the system playing us? And I'm just like, we don't even know. So I get it, because I'm like, we don't even know that we can just do something different. Like, and why we gotta rely on them? Why we gotta rely on them? But because they keep us fucked up. But once you begin to understand that currency is just an agreed upon exchange, they showing us with the fucking financial market right now. So many types of ways that people are exchanging currency. You the fucking currency. You the currency. When we start actually getting back to community, before we let these motherfuckers try to tell us how to do shit, like, we knew how to do it. You ought to get together as a community, and whoever one is a stay-at-home mom, or whoever wants to do the you can break it down into 2 people that want to stay and take care of the kids. Like, y'all figure out how to maintain their household. Like, we work together and do shit. Okay, so, or it can be a barter. Like, you keeping these kids over here, I'm keeping these kids. Like, I'm gonna do this, I'll cook, or I'll do grocery shop. Like, whatever it is to make our lives eat. Like, we the exchange, we fucking be paying, like, oh, I gotta go get food. The food that's fucking poisonous, fuck that shit. Like, I don't know. And I know it seemed like hopeless, but for me, I'm just like, you just gotta make one decision that whatever, I'm choosing myself. Like, you just gotta make one decision. What is that decision going to be for you? It just gotta start off with one that get you out of the shit that we in. Because I know everybody can't see it right now, but it's a change happening. You ain't feel that shift? Have you not paid attention? Like, nigga, this shit is a sick care. Have you not paid attention to all of the pharmacies that's popping up, all of the clinics, all of the hospitals? Like, y'all not paying attention to that shit? Y'all not paying attention to how they are literally, like, trying to suffocate the energy from y'all? Like, it's a shift. Niggas is desperate. Like, it's a world order change coming, and you're gonna have to make choices. And it's not gonna be an easy transition, but you just gotta decide what you can live with. Everybody say they want more. Like, I see how my people just want more, and I see how you can get it. But can't nobody do it for you. Can't nobody do it for you. And everybody won't be open. And that's okay. Whatever you want to live. Whatever you want to live. Right now, I just had the thought of, like, how Left Behind was, like, my favorite book series. Read it a couple times. all the all the movies and stuff that I've liked. Like, we in it, and it's so sad because so many people don't even see it. Them niggas start talking about aliens and shit. Everybody talking about aliens, and I'm just like, nigga, we been through that. Why the fuck y'all, like, I want to know why they telling us now, because if they admitting and it was coming too quick, like, oh, look over here, oh, look over here. I was like, okay, so y'all don't got no choice, like, cause y'all play too much. I done seen this movie before, so y'all trying to play, so y'all gotta tell us something. So we ain't, no, I want to see, nigga, we been knowing about aliens for a long, y'all motherfuckers is aliens too. Like, I don't care about that. Cause y'all been trying to keep it a secret. Like, y'all been, like, so now you trying to put it in our psyche. What the fuck is happening? Like, what happened? What you trying to cover up? What you don't want us to see? I look at that with everything, all the time. That's just how my brain works. Cause you my enemy. And because you my people enemy, you my enemy. And cause you my enemy, you my people enemy. And I'm gonna get us free. Like, hey, whatever happened, whatever you did before, whatever you thought was alright before, nah, we ain't doing that no more. But y'all already know that, so I get it. Y'all gonna lose. Alright, y'all, so I'm out of here. If y'all got any questions, if y'all want to know anything, If y'all want conversations, if y'all want, if interested in like some of my spiritual practices, some of my practices. Right now, my body hasn't been allowing me to eat much of any food, so I kind of been fasting, um, just like fruits and water and veggies. These last, I don't know. I'm just, she say no, and a couple times I have 8 times she like nah. So we just gonna keep doing that. Um, yeah. So if you interested in doing the fast, because I always tell people everybody don't have to be vegan, everybody don't have to do this. Like I think that we all created to do how we supposed to do. But how you gonna know what your body is naturally meant to do if you won't take it down to zero so you can actually hear what it needs, so you can tell what you're supposed to have and not what you were programmed to have. So you gotta bust it down. You gotta go down to the basics. So I know for most people, I always say do a raw fruit veggie cleanse um, for 30 days. I know that's hard for people starting off, but maybe do what you can, but set a day, like set something that is very challenging for you and do your best to obtain it. And if you don't, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Just, listen to your body, because it's going to be a different journey for everybody, different transition for everybody. I don't want to tell nobody nothing, because you know they're gonna try to tell y'all if you're on medications what you can and can't do. I'm gonna say follow your body, follow your guide, get information. Information is out there. If you do have questions, everybody can just interact under this post. Like if there are holistic providers or healers, like legit. All right, let me go ahead and say this space now. Like if it ain't nobody that's for the wholeness of my people, I ain't even gotta say it because you can't come into this frequency anyway. It don't matter. So yeah, so it can be some people under here or around that start coming to your life, however you can receive it. People that can show you how to do different fasts, that have information if you're on different medications, what to do. Like the information is up there. Just kind of tap into yourself, kind of tap into your inner self, your God, and tell God, whoever you believe in, like really like what you want, what you ready for, what you need, and they're gonna make it happen. If you reach out, if you reach out, somebody can respond back. But happy journeys to the new realms, everybody. I done been through some shit recently. But the dopest thing is that like I'm so fucking powerful. I'm so protected. I didn't even know that it was happening when I was in it. So everything happens in the spiritual before the physical. I don't know if it came down in the physical yet. Probably not. But so my team been showing me for months what was happening behind my back. Something about a court case is happening. Everything is coming out. Like all the stuff is going on, right? I know what's happening in the spiritual. I don't know what's this doing over. I don't know what's going on because I'm in the physical part. But being able to see so much is just, it is what it is. But everything happened in the spiritual for the physical, so I don't know what's happening here. But I have been through a lot, and I guess some stuff we'll all find out together. The things that I know I needed to know for me, and that's what it is. I was really scared to share this for a while, because I'm like, I had a fear of being labeled like crazy, and also it's kind of hard to process some things myself. Like I'm still learning some things myself, and I often felt like there's no way to articulate like a lot of things. Like I think my issue before was I felt like I had to explain and like try to make it make sense to somebody so that they didn't like think I was crazy or judge me, or I wouldn't have to explain, like, because some things you can't explain, it just is. And I think I'm just at a place where I'm comfortable, like, hey, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Whatever is yours, whatever. And it's my truth. It's the reality. And I know that somebody gonna be helped. So yeah, I think I just stopped caring about anything but knowing, like, standing on my truth. Like, but I was really concerned at one point, like, oh my gosh, people gonna be going crazy, or they ain't gonna understand. I don't know how to explain this, or I don't have the knowledge. And I'm just like, hey, the fuck, I know what I know, and I'm gonna share what I'm guided to share. Like, I'm on this bitch talking, and half the stuff I don't even know what I said, but I know I've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes, and I know that everybody got what they needed to get to wherever they supposed to be. So that's always the goal. I didn't know how this was going to go. I just was like, hey, y'all, I'm coming out here like y'all instructed me to. So people that need to get what they need to get, let them get it. Um, but yeah, so everything happens in the spiritual realm. So like they kind of been showing me a journey of my life. Like right now in this season I've been in, it's kind of like, okay, let me show you what's been happening behind the scenes, like all the details. Like you moved this way because you felt this, or like this was why this, like it's just like this is what actually happened. And like I know you knew this, but like this was like this. It's like I'm seeing the spiritual part of it, the physical part of it. Like they just showing me like, all right, this is what this was person did, this what this person did. Oh, and then they tried to do this. So I'm like watching a movie, but and I know all this stuff has happened, and I'm like so thankful that like I didn't feel none of it when I was in it. I'm so protected that they allowed me to be in the midst of like all this shit that they just now telling me happened, and I came out like I'm right here in the midst of it. Like it reminded me of like, what was that, Carrie? Firestarter? Wait, was that Firestarter? When it was Firestarter, right? Is that Carrie? When you see like they do the image and she's standing like right here, but like all her fires like burning up behind her, like that's what it made me feel like. I was just in hell, and like I was so protected. I didn't know none of it was happening. But none of the stuff that was being sent to destroy me was actually able to destroy me. Like none of the spells, none of the murder attempts, like none of the stuff that was sent to actually destroy and kill me really did it, because I didn't even know about it till now. You did all that shit and I just found out, but now you in trouble. And I'm still gonna get what I was supposed to get, but now I get it even better because like, nigga, you played with my shit. You didn't want me to be loved, like, but I am loved. How could you want to stop my love? Oh, because you want to stop my inheritance. Like, so you was jealous because you think I had life easy, but you knew my life. Like, nigga, I told you my life. So you literally hated me because I was me, like, because I was light, but you was my friend, or because like I was your daughter, like, or like. And I think I broke because it was like that moment where I was bawling my eyes out when it first hit me, because I was like, but I cried to, like, I was crying to you. I was begging, like, you listened to, like, you fucking listened to me cry. Like, you were calling like you were this person to me. Like, you put on this mask like you were this person. And I allow myself to trust you, and I'm crying to you about what's hurting me and what's affecting my life and what's like causing me to break and feel like I am very authentic and open about me, people, like my feelings and like where I'm at. So I'm like breaking and I'm telling you that this is affecting me this way. And like you're the one that's doing it, and you taking me out under the illusion that you care, when really, nigga, you just want me to cry so that you can get information about my life, because the shit that you throwing at me, I'm dodging. So you gotta figure out like what you can do next. So like you literally breaking my heart. Like, you listen to me tell you that you breaking my heart on purpose. Like you attacking me on purpose, and then you call because you know that I think that you're this person. And so you call and you like, oh, she has no idea, but I need some information. Let me see what the fuck going on, because that was not, how the fuck she doing this? And I'm sitting up here and I'm just talking to you and telling you, and you don't know, like, you know who I am though. You know exactly who I am. And I'm just like, and I'm telling you exactly who you are, but I don't even know that, because nigga, I'm an ancient soul. So my soul is reading you, and my childlike innocence is reading you, and you like, what the fuck? And then like the love part of me has no idea that I'm sitting up here talking to a fucking snake, but my soul know. So that broke my heart. Like, but I cried about it to you. Like, you listened to me cry, and then you gave me like a punk ass, like all the stuff that I thought that people were helping me. Like, nigga, it was mine, and you gave me this. Like, I was like, and I was so grateful because I was like, whatever you have, like, you sacrificed and gave this to me. This was yours, and you didn't have to give it to me. You did, so thank you. Meanwhile, you stealing my shit. Oh shit! Ain't that like the Orphan Annie movie? Was that one? And Annie Oakley. I mean, Orphan Annie. Was that her? Or was that Pippi Longstocking? Not Pippi. Not Pippi. What was the other one? It was Pippi. Mm-hmm. Like, but it was like that hurt. So I was like, I had the moments where they took me to like the moments where I saw you. I thought you were this, but I saw you for exactly who you were, and I was like, but I cried to you. Like, I told you what was hurting me, and you were the one making it hurt. Like, and you came and pretended like you were concerned, and you gave me a fucking oh shit, I feel disrespected like one of the pimp movies. Like, nigga, you tossed the fucking. Now I'm like, oh, okay. And hell rain it down, and you don't know what to do. I don't. Well, you eat that shit too. Here go your fucking pennies. I can be light, and I can be dark. My shit is balanced. Light and dark in itself ain't either good or bad anyway. Just light is light, dark is dark. But yeah, this has been awesome. I've been learning. I think it's awesome that like I was protected and preserved until like I wasn't. It was only when it was time to debrief me where they allowed me to feel my emotions in a space where I could truly, like, they didn't tell me until I was safe enough to like and ready enough to break down and process it all and transmute it all and process it all. So it's a really interesting experience because like even though my heart was broken, like my heart had already been broken plenty of times to get to this point. Like I already had released the energy. I already had done the crying. Like before I really got here, the matter, like I had already did it. So now that I'm here, it's like, oh, like it's like that morning cry, like, oh, it was that, huh? That's sad. That's sad for you. I'm okay, but like that's sad for you, cause you gonna have to. That's so sad. Yeah. Oh well. Get my shit. I got shit to do. All right, I'm getting off of here. I'm cold. How I end this? I don't know. It's cold out here. I miss the sun and the beach. The sun. I don't know. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that either. Is that it? Oh, okay.